Ambassador Sarah Chen had exactly 3 minutes to prevent an interstellar war. The crystalline Mindweb's battle fleet hung like frozen lightning above the organic collective's homeworld, weapon systems charging. Your species can't possibly understand. Elder Zix's thoughts reverberated through her neural translator. They are abominations. They say the same about you, Sarah replied, simultaneously processing 9 different diplomatic protocols. Her implants screamed warnings as radiation levels spiked. 2 minutes left. The fate of trillion minds rested on her next words. Good thing humans had millennia of practice lying to both sides while brokering peace. Sarah smiled and activated her quantum translator. Time to show the galaxy why Earth sent its best liar as its first diplomat. Sarah Chen's neural implant jolted her awake from cryo-sleep. Through the viewport of her diplomatic vessel, the Galactic Council hub stretched like a massive crystalline spiderweb, its translucent strands connecting thousands of rotating habitats. Ambassador, priority transmission, her AI assistant whispered through the neural link. The crystalline organic conflict has escalated. Council requests immediate intervention. Perfect. Nothing like preventing genocide before breakfast. She adjusted her quantum translator while reviewing the briefing. The crystalline mindwebs, beings of pure thought and energy, had declared the organic collectives an evolutionary mistake. The organics, in turn, viewed the crystals as soulless abominations. Display conflict zones, she commanded. A holographic map blazed to life, showing dozens of flashpoints where the 2 civilizations intersected. Her vessel docked at Hub Central, where Council member Vax waited, their energy form flickering with urgency. Ambassador Chen, your reputation for resolving impossible situations precedes you. Flattery noted, Member Vax. Brief me while we walk. They glided through quantum-stabilized corridors. The crystals have discovered organic outposts in supposedly neutral space. They're calling for immediate extinction protocols. Sarah's steps faltered. Extinction protocols? That's a bit extreme for a zoning violation. The organics claim they were there first. The crystals say their quantum signatures prove otherwise. Vax's form dimmed. Both sides are mobilizing their fleets. In the council chamber, Sarah faced the 2 faction leaders. Elder Zix of the Mindweb hovered as a complex lattice of light, while Prime Nexus Thol manifested as a shifting mass of interconnected organic forms. Your presence pollutes reality itself. Zix's thoughts burned through the translator. Your kind are cosmic parasites. Thul's composite consciousness retorted. Sarah cleared her throat. Fascinating. You both think exactly alike. The chamber fell silent. I don't understand, both leaders said simultaneously. Exactly. Sarah smiled, activating her neural scanners. You're both so convinced of your superiority, you're using identical logic patterns to prove it. Now, shall we discuss why you're really here? Her implant pinged a warning. Something about their quantum signatures wasn't quite right. Neither leader spoke, but Sarah's enhanced senses detected an encrypted transmission passing between them. That's when she realized she wasn't mediating a war. She was witnessing a conspiracy. Her neural implant flashed red as the chamber's quantum locks engaged. She had stumbled onto something far more dangerous than a simple border dispute. The real question was, would she live long enough to unravel it? Sarah had 3 options. Play dumb, call their bluff, or her personal favorite, change the game entirely. Fascinating encryption pattern, she remarked casually, watching both leaders freeze. Reminds me of the Arcturus incident. You know, when 2 species faked a war to hide their mining operations? Zix's crystalline structure flickered. You cannot prove anything, Thul finished. organic mass pulsing. I don't need to. Sarah projected the quantum signature analysis. Your supposedly antagonistic civilizations share identical subfrequencies. Either you evolved in the exact same quantum bubble impossible, or you're working together. The chamber's atmosphere shifted. Guards materialized at every exit. Clever human, Zix and Thule spoke in unison, their forms merging into something entirely new. Too clever. Sarah's hand brushed her neural dampener. Before you try anything lethal, consider this. I've already transmitted everything to my ship's AI. Dead diplomat equals leaked data. You understand nothing, the merged entity pulsed. We are protecting the galaxy. From what? From them. The chamber's quantum field inverted. Through the windows, Sarah watched the hub's crystalline strands turn midnight black. In the darkness between them, something moved. Her translator screamed with input overload before shutting down completely. But she didn't need it to understand the pure terror radiating from her hosts. They're coming, the entity whispered. We needed the fleet mobilization to appear natural, to prepare without alerting them. Sarah's diplomatic training kicked in. Tell me everything, now. The entity revealed a truth that made her blood freeze. The conspiracy wasn't to start a war. It was to prevent an invasion. Her neural implant suddenly detected multiple quantum breaches throughout the hub. The void between realities was tearing open. Ambassador, her AI's voice crackled with interference. Unknown entities entering from dimensional rifts. They match no known species patterns. Sarah looked at her former adversaries, now potential allies. I hope you have a backup plan. We do, they responded. But you won't like it. The lights went out across the entire hub. In the darkness, Sarah heard something ancient awakening. And she realized why Earth's first diplomat needed to be its best liar. Because sometimes the truth could end civilizations. The hub's emergency systems cast everything in blood-red light. Through quantum-reinforced windows, Sarah watched reality fracture like breaking glass. These entities, she addressed the merged consciousness, they're why you built the hub in the first place. The strands aren't diplomatic connections, they confirmed. They're a detection grid, a web to catch shadows. Sarah's AI processed readings from the tiers in space. Ambassador, the entities are absorbing quantum information. They're learning. Perfect. Universe-eating fast learners. She accessed her neural database, searching humanity's history for parallel scenarios. You're using my species as bait, aren't you? The merged consciousness rippled. Humans adapt faster than any species we've encountered. You solve problems by breaking rules we didn't know existed. Flattering. Sarah watched dark tendrils probe the hub's defenses. But you should have asked first. A tendril brushed against the chamber's quantum shield. Her implants decoded its pattern and she laughed. The merged entity recoiled. You find extinction amusing? No, Sarah grinned. I find it familiar. Those patterns, they're not random. They're trading algorithms. The entity froze. What? Your cosmic horrors? They're economic migrants, looking for new markets. Literally. She opened a direct channel to the void. Her translator spat out strings of mathematical patterns that made the merged consciousness shudder. The tendrils paused their assault. Ambassador, her AI warned, what are you doing? Breaking the biggest rule of all. Sarah broadcast her next words to every entity in range. Welcome to the Galactic Stock Exchange. Shall we discuss terms of merger and acquisition? The void answered with a pattern that made her neural implants sing. Either she'd just saved the galaxy through corporate diplomacy, or she'd given cosmic horrors controlling interest in reality itself. The merged consciousness watched in stunned silence as Sarah began negotiations with the dark. Some fires you fight with water, others with paperwork. The void entities materialized as shifting columns of darkness, each bearing patterns resembling corporate logos. Sarah's neural implant identified them as quantum encrypted signatures, interdimensional business cards. "Your species truly is insane," the merged consciousness whispered. Sarah pulled up virtual contracts. "Insanity built Earth's economy. Now let's discuss market share." The void entities projected complex mathematical equations. Her translator converted them into recognizable terms: hostile takeover attempts, leveraged buyouts, merger proposals. "They want to acquire 51% of our reality," her AI analyzed. "Counteroffer," Sarah broadcast. 30% non-voting shares, with first rights of refusal on all future dimensional expansions. The darkness pulsed, considering. "Ambassador," the merged consciousness warned. "You're treating existence like a commodity." "No," she corrected. "I'm treating it like what it's always been: valuable real estate." Her implant flagged unusual quantum activity. The void entities were running simulations, calculating profit margins on reality itself. New patterns emerged: counter-proposals, regulatory frameworks, antitrust considerations. "They're not invaders," Sarah explained. "They're venture capitalists. Different kind of dangerous, but at least they follow rules." The void presented final terms. Sarah's translator rendered them in glowing text. Proposed multi-dimensional trade agreement. 33% minority stake in current reality. Establishment of free trade zones in quantum null spaces. Non-compete clause for existing civilizations. Joint Oversight Committee for Dimensional Barriers. "You're legitimizing them," the merged consciousness realized. "Better shareholders than predators." Sarah signed the quantum contract. "Besides, now they have to file paperwork before they can end existence." The void entities' signatures appeared as fractal patterns of darkness. Reality stabilized as they shifted from invasion to investment mode. Sarah turned to her former adversaries. "Now about your fake war." But her neural implant suddenly screamed a warning. The void entities had inserted a clause she'd missed. They hadn't just bought shares in this reality. They'd acquired rights to her contract as Earth's diplomat. Sarah's neural implant displayed her new employment status. Position: interdimensional corporate negotiator. Employer: Void Ventures, LLC. Jurisdiction: all known and unknown realities. "Congratulations on your promotion," her AI deadpanned. The void entities morphed into sleek obsidian monoliths, their surfaces displaying profit projections across infinite timelines. The merged consciousness watched in horror as Sarah accessed her new portfolio. "Let me guess," she addressed her new employers. "Earth's diplomatic corps wasn't your real target." The void pulsed an affirmative. They'd orchestrated everything: the false conflict, the hub's detection grid, even her selection as ambassador to acquire her negotiation skills. "Clever," she admitted. "But you overlooked something crucial." Her neural implant interfaced with the contract's quantum substrate. As the void entities processed her words, she activated a subroutine hidden in her diplomatic protocols. "Earth's first rule of contracts," Sarah smiled. "Always read the fine print." The merged consciousness watched as lines of ancient Earth legalese appeared in the quantum framework. A clause written in Sanskrit, Latin, and binary languages so old they predated the void's market analysis. "Ambassador," her AI chimed, "executing protocol loophole." Reality flickered. The void entity's corporate signatures began unraveling as Sarah's hidden clause took effect. "Humanity's greatest invention wasn't technology," she broadcast. "It was bureaucracy." The void entities discovered too late, that their acquisition of Sarah's contract had triggered automatic incorporation under Earth's legal system. "Welcome to Human Resources," she announced. "Let's discuss overtime pay, dimensional benefits, and union regulations." The void recoiled as endless forms materialized in quantum space. Their attempt to acquire a human diplomat had turned them into a terrestrial corporation subject to all of Earth's labor laws. Sarah picked up a virtual clipboard. "Now, about those mandatory sensitivity training sessions." The entities fled back through their dimensional rifts, leaving behind a single quantum note. "Merger cancelled. Market too regulated." The merged consciousness split back into Zix and Thul, both staring at her in disbelief. "Did you just defeat cosmic horror with paperwork?" "No," Sarah gathered her files. "I just gave them a taste of real terror human bureaucracy. They'll think twice before trying another hostile takeover." Her neural implant pinged one final update. "Diplomatic mission status. Successful threat level. Mitigated forms filed." Sometimes the best weapon wasn't a lie or truth. It was a properly filed document.